Racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, anti-Semitism.
Perverts and cannibals are running the world and engage in heresy on a private island. Sounds like a plot from a South Park episode, right? Well, wrong. Let's give a warm welcome to the man of the hour, Jeffrey Epstein, a famous American financier, businessman and a hardcore gamer. And in his spare time, a predator, a trafficker of minors, and, if some rumors are to be believed, a cannibal and a Satanist. He became infamous for his island parties, where he and his elite buddies would, how shall I put this? Network with escorts and, as we later found out, underage girls. All these files was preserved: photos, emails, flight logs, receipts. Later, this collection of dirt would become known to the public as the Epstein Files. The massive uproar we've seen recently, that's because these files were finally unsealed and released to the public. And what was inside? Everything from the most cringe-worthy and hilarious stuff to things that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And not just on your back, if you know what I mean. But how did this all start? I'm not gonna bore you with detailed bio of who Jeff is. We've all heard it a million times. What's way more interesting is how a kid from a poor Jewish family became a multimillionaire and close confidant of the Western elites. See, he didn't have a public investing track record like Warren Buffett. It just doesn't add up. And that's why theories started swirling, not without reason, that Epstein was a Mossad agent. His mission? To gather dirt on the global elite and have them by the short and curlies. But let's rewind.
I'm Epstein.
Jeff started like everyone else, with a regular job. He was a math teacher at an exclusive private school in New York. Not a professor, not a Nobel laureate. And even back then, people noticed his inappropriate closeness with some of the older female students and the presence of alcohol at school parties. After he got the boot from the school, the father of one of his students saw potential in his math skills and hooked him up with a job at the investment bank BearStars. In his new role, he advised filthy rich clients on business strategies. This was his big break. It gave him the wealth to start his own firm and the connection to the financial elite he would later exploit. And that, comrades, is how the foundation for a certain island was laid. Honestly, hints that something was off have been around for over 25 years. Some of you remember that old Simpsons episode where Homer finds a website claiming island perverts around the world. Others see the parallels between Epstein's Island and the secret elite party in Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. You know, the film he made right before he unexpectedly died. The current hype train really got going in 2024. During his campaign, Donald Trump reluctantly said he'd release them, while also claiming they were either a deep state hit job or completely fake. Given how sensitive American society is to the topic of minors and sex, the public outcry was inevitable. People demanded the files. And then it happened. On January 30th, the DOJ basically nuked the reputation of the American elite and dumped 3 million pages of the Epstein Files into the public domain. 3 million pages! Coral! As someone who once tried to read an Adobe Reader license agreement, my brain just melted. The internet did what it does best. It started digging. New outlets published clickbait articles, TikTokers made memes. Turns out, the South Park jokes weren't jokes at all. So, I decided to jump in this dumpster fire myself and peek inside Pandora's box. Smash that like and subscribe to pay respects to my eyes and sanity, while I sifted through the files to find the absolute wildest and most disgusting stuff. The first thing everyone noticed, the files were released in the most half-assed way possible. A ton of names and faces of VIPs and victims were blacked out, which instantly became a meme, but the users quickly discovered the text underneath wasn't removed. So, if you copy the redacted text and paste it somewhere else, boom, you can read the hidden info. Groundbreaking! On the funny side, it turns out Jeff was a bit of a furry. One day, people found an email where Epstein was sharing Five Nights at Freddy's porn gif with one of his girls, with the caption "Amazing animations." Can you imagine? You open the Epstein Files, expecting state secrets, and you get that. I obviously can't show the GIF here, because YouTube would nuke this video, which is why all the blurred stuff from this video is available uncensored on my Patreon, link in the bio. Or how about these? Microsoft banned Jeffrey Epstein from Xbox Live in 2013 when they found out he was a predator. The guy, who had American presidents as a guest on his island, couldn't play Call of Duty online. But given his people's skills, maybe that's for the best. The files also mention French President Emmanuel Macron. There's a message where Epstein says he saw a photo of his boyfriend. Given the internet rumors that his wife is actually a dude in a cheap wig, it's unclear if he meant her or some secret lover. Either way, Manu's been in hot water before, so he's probably used to it. And here's a joke. Elon Musk, who was all for releasing the files, apparently wanted to know when the wild party was, so he could come. But, like a broccoli-eating nerd he is, he wasn't invited. And you've probably already heard about Bill Gates. He caught an STD from one of those escorts and had to ask Epstein for antibiotics. Not just for himself, but to secretly slip it to his wife. It's both stupid and hilarious. But the Epstein Files aren't just a goldmine for cringe content. The internet was flooded not with just wild stories, but with images that will make your blood run cold. Lady Gaga eating what looks like a human flesh out of a coffin? A minor on a cutting board with chicken carcasses? More minors in boxes? What the hell is going on here? Even with the black bars, I'm too scared to put these in the video without blurring them. So again, all the blurred pics are on my Patreon. Naturally, after seeing these, the internet demanded blood. There are no innocent people on that island. Holy crap, they are satanic cannibals! Line these monsters up against the wall. That's what any normal person would say after seeing these photos. But the internet is gonna internet. And in this case, Epstein's reputation worked against the hype. After a quick reverse image search, I found these pics were floating around long before the DOG release. They have nothing to do with the files. As for where they came from, I didn't dig through 4chan or the dark web. I have a deadline, people. But from what I can tell you, they are pictures of dolls from shock art exhibitions made by artists trying to make a point. If you know more about these pics, drop it in the comments, I'm genuinely curious. This brings me to a key point. Those 3 million pages are part of an investigation. It's a dumpster fire of everything the feds could find connected to Epstein. There's real evidence, gossip, compromise, tabloid trash, and just plain BS, like some low-rent tabloid writer in 2016 saying an anonymous source said Trump was on the island. That crap gets reprinted, shared, and then bam, it ends up in a DOG archive. Now, any bozo can say, it's in the Epstein Files, and technically be right. But really, it's just an old rumor that ended up in a folder. That's why even the DOG says that the name or picture in the files isn't proof of a crime. Take the just plain BS category. One letter, taken directly from the DOG website, is between Epstein and Larry Nassar. You know, the guy in prison for, let's just say, treating girl gymnasts in a very inappropriate way. The letter claims Trump loved to grab minors inappropriately. The problem? The FBI confirmed the letter was fake. I want to be clear, I'm not playing devil's advocate here. If there's proof someone is a predator, they belong in the gutter, not in the corner office eating caviar. I'm just saying, we should make conclusions based on facts, not just follow the herd. Yelling, Bill Bubba Clinton ate people and Trump drowned the baby just because they said me this. That's what sheep do. Does this mean the Epstein Files are just a collection of cringe and fake news? No. There's plenty in there that will make it dark outside from just reading them, not because the sun went down. The island wasn't just for sick parties, it was a whole system. The new files has testimony from victims. They all describe the same pattern. Ghislaine Maxwell, a British socialite and Epstein's assistant, would meet minors, befriend them, give them gifts, and slowly groom them. Come to this party, there will be producer stars. It's a great networking opportunity. You show up, and instead of producers, it's Jeffrey in a robe. You can guess what happens next. And it wasn't just Epstein. For example, there's a photo of Prince Andrew in a pose that's hard to misinterpret. But it gets worse. Do you know what happened on June 12, 2018? The FBI started its hunt for Epstein. And on that very same day, a truck with 6 55-gallon drums of concentrated sulfuric acid was on its way to his island. For reference, 55-gallon can easily dissolve about 20 human bodies. That's a chemical fact. Or it can destroy hard drives, servers, photo archives, anything that holds information. So, while we are laughing at AI Epstein and PDD fighting in the style of Jujutsu Kaisen, 6 bars of acid vanished into thin air. Along with them, who knows what else. There's a similar theory about Trump. One document claims he held auctions at Mar-a-Lago, where he sold and had these with 13-year-old girls. The ones who didn't survive, he buried them on his golf course. This file was taken down an hour and a half after it was posted. Was it deleted to hide a horrible truth, or because it was a total lie? Write your opinion in the comments. Even with all the debunked myths, don't take off your tinfoil hat just yet. The Epstein saga has some theories with real legs. We all remember the theory that Epstein didn't unalive himself in a jail a month before his testimony, but was vaxxed to shut him up for good. The clues are all there. The cellmate was suddenly transferred, the guards fell asleep, the cameras malfunctioned, and his neck injuries were more consistent with a homicide by strangulation than a suicide by hanging. Well, get this. There's evidence Epstein is alive and kicking it in Israel, watching the world lose its mind. Gamers found a username that was buying in-game currency in 2019 using Epstein's email. They tracked it on Fortnite Tracker, and the geotag was in Israel. The account is still active. And the craziest part, when the theory went viral, the profile was set to private and scrubbed from the Wayback Machine. An anonymous 4chan user backs this up. They claim the corpse photo circulating online is actually Anthony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother. They point to the shape of the nostrils and ears. And get this. Anthony died unexpectedly of unknown causes a month before Epstein. Think about that. Despite the millions of pages, the public is only seeing a fraction. The DOJ admits there are 6 million pages total that fall under the Epstein Files umbrella. We'll probably never see the rest. And who knows what's hidden in there. This whole Epstein circus has proven one thing. The internet is and always will be a massive dumpster fire. It also shows that money and power can buy people, body and soul. Reading news like this, you really want to believe that the island's visitors aren't being punished because a name or a picture isn't proof, not because the system is so broken you can't hold the elite accountable. We know Epstein was a predator and a pimp. We know Maxwell was his accomplice and is completely nuts. We know powerful people flew to that island. We know Prince Andrew walks his corgis and Trump became president. Yes, crimes were committed and they were horrific, but it's clearly not the massive satanic cult exposed that Tinfoil Brigade has hoping for. If Epstein were killed to shut him up, I don't feel sorry for him. Even without the cannibalism and Satanism, the guy did so much damage that monster deserves a one-way ticket to the hottest circle of hell. And not this hell, this hell. If I missed anything, drop it in the comments, I'd love to read it. Anyway, happy Friday, comrades. Or Monday. Honestly, what difference does it make? Just make sure your name isn't in the files.